Welcome back to Kuala Lumpur Vignettes. First thing on today's schedule was a haircut, which I already got. And in fact, that's where I got my haircut, right there. Just says barbershop on the door. There's a whole bunch of barbershops here. There's one here, and there's my hotel. So this barbershop was the easiest one to go to. And I had my usual Planet Doug style adventures there. I can turn a haircut and turn it into a thesis on human interaction. Woo. Noisy truck, whatever's going on with that truck. I decided not to take video of the haircut. I've done a number of haircut videos, and I just wanted to get a haircut done. And actually, I've been wanting to get a haircut done for weeks and weeks and weeks. But I find it such a difficult chore to undertake that I just can't get around to it. But today is kind of a special occasion because right now I'm walking to a train station to meet up with another cycling YouTuber. Though I can't really call myself a cycling YouTuber right now. I'm just a YouTuber, not doing much cycling lately. But the American Hobo, who just finished like, I don't know how many months in total, but 120 days, so 4 months of cycling all the way around peninsular Malaysia. He started cycling in northern Vietnam. He bought a cheap local bicycle for $100, and then he rode that bicycle south through Vietnam, through Thailand, through Cambodia, crossed the border from Thailand into Malaysia, went all the way down the west coast of Malaysia, all the way down to Malacca, Johor Bahru, popped over to Singapore, and then he came back into Malaysia and then cycled all the way up the east coast to Kota Bharu. And then from Kota Bharu, he cycled west across the mountain ranges all the way back to the place where he started, Alor Setar. Stayed there a couple of days, and then he's now heading to Kuala Lumpur. And just to avoid the highway system, like the complex highway system to get into KL, he's put his bike on the KTM commuter train in Tanjung Malim. So right now he's on the train. And we've been messaging back and forth all morning, and I said I'd like to come to the train station and be there when he gets off the train.
Hey Doug, there was no problem with getting a bike on. They did actually accept the my old KL card too. Like I said, I have money on it, so I didn't want to get rid of it, so I've been hanging on it for a long time. I think it just is only for the KL trains. It's a My Rapid card. I thought I got the suggestion from you, but yeah. Wonder if this is excuse me. I wonder if this could be used as touch and go too, like for paying for things. But I think this is just strictly. I think this is just strictly for the trains, but I'm not sure. So anyway, yeah, no problems getting the bicycle on. Looks like the duration is about an hour and 20 minutes. I thought she said there was going to be one here at 11 something, but for as far as Google Maps says, it's not till 12 something. So what I'll do is I'll give you when I'm actually on and heading out. When I get on the train, I'll go ahead and shoot you a text. That way you know you have it about an hour and 20 minutes before I arrive. And yeah, so looking forward to meeting you, buddy. It's been a while. But yeah, I look forward to meeting you, brother.
So because I'm meeting the famous American Hobo, I thought, okay, that's the impulse that I need to finally get a haircut, get a little bit neater. So that's why I found the energy to finally get a haircut this morning. The arrangements for meeting up with Daniel, the American Hobo, were a little bit complicated. These things always are, right? Where you're trying to meet someone at a particular time on a particular train at a particular train station, and there's so many variables that have to be worked out. For example, like where Daniel is going to be staying in KL. Once he knows what his hotel is going to be, he may even be staying at the Raja boat. I don't know about that yet. He might go back to one of his old favorites, the Explorers, because they have an inexpensive dorm room there at the Explorers. So, but I don't know what hotel, where he's going to be staying. But of course, where he's going to be staying dictates what train station you should go to closest to your hotel. So we were messaging back and forth about that. Like, if you're staying at the Raja boat, then it's best to get out at the Putra KTM station. If you're staying at the Explorers, then it's better to get out at Kuala Lumpur station, because I think most people would naturally just take the train all the way to KL Central. So you get off the train at KL Central. But I know from experience it's really hard to get a bicycle out of KL Central when you arrive by train. You're way underground and you got to navigate all these elevators and stairways and all kinds of things. Oop. But anyway, I still don't know where Daniel's going to be staying. But on our last message, we seemed to settle on him getting out at the Putra KTM station, and I'm on my way to meet him there. But then things got even more complicated. Like, he just sent me a message saying, hey, I must be getting close to Planet Doug's gravitational pull, because in my world, on Planet Doug, nothing big ever goes wrong, but all the little things are always a little bit squirrely. And in this case, he was supposed to get the 12:40 train out of Tanjung Malim. That's the schedule. There's a train at 11:40 and one at 12:40, one at 1:40, etc. So he's there on the platform, and then out of nowhere, I get a message from him saying, I'm on the train, and it was 12:15. And that made no sense to me. Like, how can you be on a train at 12:15? There is no 12:15 train. So I thought, okay, I thought I knew KL. I thought I knew what I was talking about. But obviously I was wrong about KTM train schedules. So now we're both trying to figure out what's going on. But then Daniel found out, or he heard an announcement or something saying that the train was running 30 minutes late. So in fact, the train that he got on was not the 12:40, it was the 11:40, but it arrived 30 minutes late. So that cleared up the mystery. So that's something that would happen to me. But oddly enough, for him, it worked out better, because the 11:40 was 30 minutes late. He managed to get an earlier train. Otherwise, he'd have to wait until 12:40. So even though things got screwed up, it worked out in his favor. It's kind of interesting. And then he's on the train, and he got the ticket okay. He got his bicycle onto the train, because you can bring your bicycle onto the KTM commuter trains, not the ETS trains, but onto the commuter lines. And then he found out he has a flat tire.
Hey Doug, when I get there to the train station, I'm gonna have to replace a flat. So let's see if I can get that. It's a hard flat. I'm taking my bicycle. I'm taking the bags off. Taking the bags off my bicycle right now, just so I don't have that extra pressure on the rim. And I have a spare and everything. So yeah, so you got to give me a few minutes when I get off to change out that flat and all that fun stuff. I know how that is. So just giving you an update.
So the first thing he has to do when he gets off the train here is fix a flat tire. So anyway, that is why I'm heading towards the Putra train station, the Putra KTM station. Luckily for me, just the other day, I went to meet a Planet Doug subscriber, Jamie, at a Burmese restaurant. And to meet up with him, I took the LRT from right up ahead here. This is a PWTC station up here. So I already walked this route, and so I did it just recently, so I'm feeling very familiar with this walking route. And I just got another video message from Daniel, and he was looking at his bike on the train, and the flat tire repair is going to be a little bit more complicated than he thought, because he just got the rear cassette replaced. And see, am I going to be able to get across here? Oh, walking signal. Cool. So, and the guy at the shop who did the repairs for him tightened something up really, really tight, and Daniel can't get his wheel off. He doesn't have the tools to do what he needs to do. So he was asking me, hey, if you have this tool, can you bring it?
Hey Doug, question, do you have the tool to get back into here? When he was replacing the flywheel, he cinched this down a little too tight. I mean, so I have the tool for this. I just don't have, it's not the same size for inside here. Yeah, I don't have that tool. Do you have it? If you do, bring it with you when you come to meet me. The train's moving again.
And I may have that tool, but it's not here. It's in Port Dickson, so I can't bring a tool for him. And now to get back to the original story, the haircut story, I picked this particular barbershop because there were no other customers. All the chairs were empty, and there appeared to be a barber inside sitting in a chair waiting for customers. So I'm always a little bit hesitant because I don't want to freak people out. All his customers, of course, would be local people. This is a Pakistani neighborhood. He's probably Pakistani himself, I think. And then maybe, I don't know about hair. Like if you're cutting hair only from people from Pakistan, like when a guy like me shows up with my hair, is it different? Do you have to have a different set of skills to cut my kind of hair? I just don't know. Or would he just be too nervous dealing with a foreigner? I don't want to make the guy's life difficult. So I stand at the door and I make eye contact before I even go in through the glass, and I make little snipping, like, is it okay? And if he gives me one of these, no, then I'll go somewhere else. But I gave him one of these, like, can I get a haircut? And he says, yeah. Body language, come on in. And then right from the start, I don't really know how to communicate because I don't like to assume. I don't want to assume that he speaks English, but this is Malaysia. It's a national language. It's a safe assumption he has some English ability, but he could be Malaysian, could be Indonesian for all I know, could be Pakistani, could be Bangladeshi. I don't know. So I don't know what language to come out with. And I hit him with a little bit of simple English, like just talking about my haircut. I always want to tell barbers, I don't care what you do with my hair. I have no style. I have no desire to come out of your barbershop looking like Brad Pitt. It's not going to happen. So all I want is whatever my hair is doing right now, do that, but make it shorter. And that's all I need to convey to somebody. Just reassure them that I don't have high expectations. If I come out looking ridiculous, it's not on you. Don't worry about it. I don't care what I look like. Just make it shorter and neater. That's what I'm trying to convey. Oh, I'm down at the river, by the way. Oh, look at that. I never noticed this little cafe down there. Here's the LRT line up above me. There goes the Ampang LRT, PWT station. There's the Putra Sunway Mall, I think it's called. And what I have to do to get to the Putra train station is just go up ahead, and I think I turn left. So I think I know what I'm doing. Maybe I'll see if I can cross the road here. I made it across. And this is the giant mall up there. Oh, look at that. The hop on, hop off city tour bus. I wonder why it stops here. Maybe there's something special about this mall, or there's a lot of hotels near here. I'm not sure. Gorgeous day, by the way. Really hot though. The sun is just beating down. And I'm also walking a bit faster than normal. Oh yeah, here's the sign for the KL Ronda. Ah, okay. This is the Sunway Putra hotel stop. Yeah, I didn't know this was included in their rounds. Oh yeah, okay. Sunway Putra. Very cool pedestrian walkway up there. Very old, very interesting, pretty big. So I go into this barbershop, and what I do in advance, if I can think of it, I always like to get out a photograph of me with a haircut recently that looked more or less how I want it to look. And I found a picture. It's actually my passport photo that I took back in Mae Sot in Thailand when I had to renew my passport there. And just looking at that picture, the hair length and the style looks reasonable. Oh, look at this. Oriental Kopi. A Planet Doug subscriber has sent me like hotel deliveries, like 2 meals recently from Oriental Kopi, and they were amazing. The food was so good, but I'd never seen an Oriental Kopi outlet. There it is there. It's very nice. But I could tell the barber wasn't understanding what I was saying to him about my haircut. So I just showed him a photograph, and once he looked at the picture, he's like, ah, no problem, I can do that. Like I said, it's just shorter and neater. Those are my only requirements. And he did an amazing job. I really like this barber because he didn't use clippers. Most barbers these days, they get out the clipper and they just kind of go zing, 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 zing with the clipper. And it always seems a little bit anticlimactic, like it goes way too fast, and it doesn't seem like they're doing enough. And I often have a somewhat itchy scalp. I like people to get in there and scratch, right? And when you use the clipper, all it does is kind of tickle me. You know, I just sort of feel tickled. I just got across that intersection. I went against the red light because I don't think a walk signal was ever going to show up. But yeah, I could have taken the overpass, the pedestrian bridge. That would have been cool. And I think I have to go this way. I've got to get over this highway system, over this bridge, and the train station should be right there. I'm not sure how early Daniel's train is going to. Oh no, that's the one heading north. I'm sort of hoping I can be there before his train arrives. He's coming south, of course. Yeah. So there's the KTM station. But this barber, he's old school, and he uses scissors, only scissors, for the most part. A comb and scissors. And he kind of gave my head the once over. He got in there with his fingers. He wasn't shy, just sort of like digging around, trying to figure out how my hair works. And then he grabbed a big pump bottle for water, sprayed down my head with a lot of water, which I always like. And then he went to work with scissors and a comb. And I love that because it's like the comb scratches your head like, ah, ah, ah. It feels so good. I guess I have dry skin or something. And then, yeah, I always close my eyes when I get a haircut. I don't like to give the barber the idea that I'm watching him like a hawk, making sure he does a good job. You know, I just close my eyes and say, yeah, just go to work. Do what you do. Don't worry about me. And of course, if you have your eyes open the whole time, you're wondering, like, where do I look all the time? Do I look at myself in the mirror? I don't want to give the impression that I'm so vain that I'm monitoring every stage of my haircut. So I just close my eyes and let him do his thing. And I have to say, based on his haircut that he gave me and the style, right now I must have the best looking back of my neck anyone has ever had. He spent so much time trimming the back of my neck and evening it up and doing it, and he worked so long on the back of my head, I thought, wow, I didn't realize the back of my head required so much work. And I thought he totally forgot about the top of my head, but he was a total professional, cleaned up the back of my neck really, really well. And then he switched to the top of my head, which I guess is good barbershop technique. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Skyline of KL. Massive apartment block towers up there. And assuming Daniel and I agreed on where we were going to meet, this is where he's getting off the train. I might even buy a ticket for the KTM to go to KL Central, and just so I can go out on the platform. And if we miscommunicated and he's on his way to KL Central, then I can just hop on the train and go with him instead of waiting outside. We'll see if I can get a ticket. Anyway, to end the haircut story, yeah, he did the top of my head, then he got out a clipper, and he understands that gentlemen of a certain age with a certain hormonal balance, I guess, we end up with hair like sprouting out of our ears. So he goes to town, cleans up my ears, the inside of my ears, and something that almost no barber ever does voluntarily, he trimmed my eyebrows, which I love. Again, gentlemen of a certain age, our eyebrows start to grow 3 feet away from our heads. You know, we end up with these awnings. We could actually, like a rain cover or something, covering our face from the rain. They grow out so far. So you got to trim your eyebrows if you don't want to look like grandpa. And then, yeah, he just did it on his own. He just trimmed them. So he did a great job. So that was the power of touch and go, even though I was using a printed ticket with a QR code, so it counts. But when I swooped my hand down, I hit my GoPro mount. Kind of broke my finger there. But yeah, it looks like there's a bit of a pedestrian bridge action here. So we're gonna have to navigate to get his bicycle across this bridge, but I think we can handle it. And there is an elevator. Let's see if it's operational. That would be the easiest. Oh, except that elevator goes down to my platform. Let's see if the elevator works on this side and see how big it is. Oh yeah, it's perfect. More than big enough for a bicycle. So, assuming that our flurry of 10,000 messages going back and forth worked out okay, Daniel should be arriving here shortly. I don't see this very often. Danger, no selfie sticks on the platform. Use of selfie sticks is prohibited, but my particular gizmo is a bit of a gray area. I wouldn't call it a selfie stick. It's too short to be a selfie stick, so I think I'm okay. But I can see their point. I can see people filming the train coming, filming themselves on the platform. They lose their footing, they fall into the tracks, or the stick is longer than they think and the train hits it going by. So I get it, but this is really just a hand grip. Here comes another train. That one is not stopping here, clearly. That would be one of the ETS trains, perhaps. Not a KTM commuter. And I think that one's heading north. I need the train coming from this direction, heading south to KL Central. So I got distracted again and I missed the front of the train. But I'm way down at the end where I think they put the bicycles normally. So what train number is this one? This is train, well, it's KL Central. Aha! It all works out in the end. Look at that. The American Hobo arrives in Kuala Lumpur.
Here we go.
Amazing. Look at you in real life. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
You're a lot taller.
Everybody says that.
Well, on video, you're only about 2 inches.
Yeah, so there I am with the American Hobo. I've only got one microphone running, so that's why I'm leaning in close to get your voice.
Oh yeah, that's no problem. I'll try and talk loud. So we finally meet up after all these times of actually dodging and it's crazy. So
a lot of people say that. A lot of people have knocked on my door in hotel rooms, like YouTube subscribers track me down.
Yeah.
And when I open the door, they're all like, I didn't know you were so tall.
Well, I saw you coming out of the museum, and it looked like you ducked under that little thing. I was like, oh, I think he's a lot taller than I am. But
well, your height I didn't know, to be honest. I knew you were tallish, just in general, but it's hard to tell on video.
Yeah, 5'9", I think is like right in the average, 5'9", 5'10", you know. So.
Okay.
But my brother's about your height. Would you be 6'3"?
Well, I think I'm 6'1".
6'1", okay. Yeah.
But at the most, yeah.
So this is as I'm approaching Planet Doug.
Yeah, things go wrong.
Yeah, so
I don't have any tools here.
Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do. This is a hard flat, like it went flat, like that. So I don't know where it's at. I have my backpack off. This is the first time I'm actually trying to use it this way.
I just noticed you've got the famous Pocket 3 running. Check that out.
Yeah, so you remember I had this strapped to here. This is actually how it's supposed to.
Right. I remember when you bought that and I was thinking, I've had similar things like that attached to a strap and they never actually worked. They were too loose and they're flopping around.
And honestly, I think that it's in my garbage pile.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you pay money on something and so it's like, so this is the first time actually wearing it the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
So how far is the hotel from here? The problem I have is, do you have a tool for the reaching into there?
Like all my tools are in Port Dickson. Like my bike is in Port Dickson. I have nothing here.
Ah, okay. So I need to actually probably go find, like I said, I have an adjustable wrench. I just, it
you just can't get in there. Okay. Huh. Yeah, so it doesn't hold any air at all?
No, because it was so flat.
Okay, just one.
It's immediate.
We're not that far away. I mean, it's reasonable to walk it there, I think.
I just have to lift up a little on the back.
I mean, I walk to get here. It's like 1.5 kilometers to the hotel.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it said, 1.4 or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
So if we can't fix it here, we don't have a choice. You pretty much have to roll it. You won't do any damage to the rim.
No, I'm not. Plus, it's a cheap rim anyway.
Yeah. That's the American Hobo ethos, right?
Oh, here's the new seat. Right?
Look at that.
I got one with the springs, and I realized that's not probably the best thing to do. This is very uncomfortable.
When did you get that?
I got it. There was only 2 seats at like the Mr. DIY, you know, here.
Oh.
So it was. I better take this off. So that was like 2 seats I had to choose from. The other one just completely fell apart. So I have no idea like if the footage is going to come out on this. So it's easier just to hand it.
Yeah. Well, that's what you're used to, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So turn it off. That's just a cut. That way I can adjust it later and I have like a really long segment. So normally when I'm riding a bicycle, I don't usually have it pointed at me, but I'll have it pointed straight ahead.
Yeah.
And then I just swing. So that's why I had originally get these.
You switch the brakes. I remember that.
Most of the time I'm just doing one-handed.
All right.
So, all right, Doug. I'm going to turn mine off for now.
I run mine 24/7, so
cool.
it's just what I do.
So, because I need two hands to push the bike.
Right, yeah, of course.
So this will be kind of interesting because I'll be filming you as you're filming me, and I'm still
Inception.
gonna watch the video later. So.
YouTube Inception. I've done it a few times, the people that I've run into.
But it is a very high honor to meet you, brother.
Well.
You wouldn't believe how much since I've gotten going that you stepped in. I know you came over because one of your friends sent the video to you.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's how it usually happens.
And it was so nice to actually, you know, have someone helping me out on my page. So yeah, this has been one of the, and like you said, you can only keep up with like maybe 2, maybe 3 YouTubers.
Yeah.
But you don't have time.
You don't have time.
And it was crazy learning how much time is actually involved in this. Crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you really gotta love it.
I have to document the,
Yeah,
the rolling of the bike down the train platform.
And it popped off in the back.
But
so,
yeah, the flat's a bit of an issue because now the tire popped off the rim.
Yeah, I just kind of carry it like this.
But
Yeah,
hopefully you
that's
don't have to
good.
do that for 1.5 kilometers.
I got to do this, huh? Oh no, there's a lift.
There it is. Famous pannier bags. Everything to me is famous. The famous pannier bags, the famous helmet.
Man, those were a good deal right there.
Yep.
Those were really good over at Decathlon. I think they were like 50 ringgit. 50 ringgit or 60 ringgit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's fairly cheap.
How heavy is your pack? We can switch if you want.
It's light. It's
Or
light.
I can
yeah,
put mine on there, and I don't know.
it's
Because you normally have it strapped down, right?
yeah. No, I just did this to kind of keep from that happening, but it happened anyway.
Right.
You know.
We're not getting any the Planet Doug effect is, I don't know, the elevator won't come up. I
Step
guess.
away from the thing and see if
I
it
know,
starts
it's not
working.
get away. No, it's the elevator's definitely not working.
Yeah, it's not even.
We're going down the stairs.
Yeah.
Daniel, no problem, no choice. That's awful.
Well, you can get it on video.
Come to Putra station, Daniel, Doug says. It'll be easy, he says.
I wouldn't even want to know what type of problems I would have at the other ones.
Next thing you know, this is what I'm putting the American Hobo through. He has to carry his bike down all these steep stairs. But you've done this before in KL lots of times, right?
Not a lot of times because I kind of took the option of running across traffic.
Right, okay.
You know,
He's got the power of the QR code.
yeah.
Oh, you're just clocking out like that?
Not enough balance.
What did it say?
Not enough balance.
Oh,
Well, where do I?
yeah, there's no people here.
Let's see. We'll figure it out.
The Planet Doug
cool.
effect.
Awesome.
Look.
We're gonna check. I just check only.
Yeah.
He's just checking the balance on the card. And while they're doing that, let's take another look at the bike. There's the flags. He sews them on. Very nice. American Hobo painted on.
All right.
Oh, they're just letting him out. And I've got mine, which should work.
All right.
There we go. Looking for a bathroom? It's over here.
No, I got to pay.
Oh, okay. You got to come out here.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
How much?
10 ringgit.
10 ringgit. Okay. That's it.
Check this out.
It works.
American ingenuity at its finest.
No hands.
Yeah, he's actually got his bike lock gone through his rear
Yeah.
rack,
Yeah.
and he's turned it into a shoulder strap, basically, lifting up the entire back of his bike, and I mean,
makes it easier. So I don't think I've been on this side of town yet.
Chow Kit? You might have been into Chow Kit. It's hard, yeah. We're sort of on the edges of Chow Kit here.
Are we? So it's good to do like a little hostel hopping once in a while.
Yeah.
I did that in Vietnam, in Hanoi. So that's how Hanoi is so big.
Right.
That I just went from cheap hostel to cheap hostel, stayed like a few days in each one,
Yeah.
explored that side of the city.
It works out well, yeah.
But that was before I had a bike. Bicycles open a whole world, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's why even if I give up this one, I'd still like to get like a little foldable. Because walking's just too slow.
Yeah. There's an American traveler in town that I've known for a few years, Jamie.
Yeah.
And he does that deliberately, where he'll just pick a random neighborhood, like I don't know what's there, but I'll book a room at a hotel in that neighborhood and find out. And then the next trip, he'll pick a new neighborhood and then a new one.
Yeah, you kind of do that. Yeah, regardless if you don't know the town, like town I stayed in last night, you can discover some very nice places that way. Even the roads I take, I just kind of, take it because it's going in the right direction.
Yeah.
The whole east side was like that. Beautiful, beautiful beaches and stuff. But the infrastructure on the east side wasn't quite as much as it is here on the west side. But the opportunity for camping was great.
And there's the KL we both know and love, trying to get across all these highway systems.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah, KL is. Yeah. But all of Malaysia is actually, the roads just are not well thought out.
No, not at all.
Probably the worst I've seen.
Yeah.
The condition of them is not bad. It's just the design.
Yeah.
And you see that like over in JB, where JB Central, they're putting in a big old octopus of like a road, and it's brand new. They're spending a lot of money to make it very, very, very complicated.
I remember it from your video, yeah.
And yeah, I got lost in there. I was able to get out fairly easy though, by accident.
Yeah, we can stay at ground level, and I'm just curious if this elevator works. Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it does. It has this.
Where are we going?
We're heading this way.
Okay.
We can stay out on the ground.
Sounds good. Because the other elevator wouldn't work.
Yeah, it's true. I just think this giant like pedestrian crossing is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But not with a bike. I started to feel more and more sorry for him, so in case anybody thinks I'm leaving him to suffer, I am now carrying the pannier bags, which makes his bike, on the rear end anyway, significantly lighter, I hope.
And it only cost me 40 ringgit.
Yeah. That's what he's paying me, right?
Yeah.
To carry him. So trip update, Daniel. How are your arms feeling? Hanging in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Doing all right?
I appreciate the help out on the bags.
Yeah.
It's
And we're almost there. I don't think I mentioned it, but Daniel booked a room for a couple of nights at the same hotel where I am right now, the Raja boat.
Yeah, I don't think you mentioned. Yeah, up to the Thursday, because that was the time you said you might be.
Yeah.
Hey, you booked up to Thursday, so I figure out a convenience and stuff.
Through this alleyway here.
Plus, this puts me on a new side of town that I really wasn't exploring a lot of.
No, if you got the time, it's a great neighborhood to get to know. There's a lot going on here in Chow Kit in terms of like local, what you see around you right now. Just
Yeah.
market stuff. It's very local, very bustling, especially at night.
I'll put it right here.
We've arrived. Not a moment too soon. With that sun beating down.
Yeah.
American Hobo will start wondering, why am I riding around the world on a bicycle again?
Well, I reserve the option to change that at any time.
At any time. That's the whole
That's the whole point of having a cheap
method of having a
bicycle.
$100 bike.
That doesn't look too secure. There, now it does.
And your handlebar bag is okay out here still?
Yeah, for now.
Okay. Or whatever's in there.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Cool.
Alright. Let me get an opening shot and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Get,
You get to see the American Hobo in action with his Pocket 3.
Do one still shot. Oh, nope, wrong one. Get one still shot. Yeah, it's pretty hot. Yeah, they do. I know. That's probably one of the biggest problems. All right, 209.
I can still take this for you.
All right.
Okay. But you gave me the good room, right?
He's like, I gave you the same room.
Yes.
All right, let's go. We're up to 2.
Second floor.
Oh, what was your name? I'm sorry. I'm Daniel. Fine? Fine? Nice to meet you guys. Oh.
Number 2.
He's saying I'm fine. So what's your name? He's like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm at 209, yeah.
So yeah, your room doesn't have a window, I guess. So this looks like you. I'm just around the corner. I got the premium room. Same price. But
I see how you
I
are.
haven't seen one of these standard, like normal standard twins or standard double, whatever it is. Oh, you just hold it flat.
Oh, it's a flat one.
Yeah.
I guess they don't make those anymore. Let's see. There's home sweet home.
Hope it
This is good.
works out.
It smells good in
I
there.
don't know how much this door slams shut. No, all right.
All right. Yeah, just sit them anywhere.
Oh yeah, so there. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, not bad.
Air conditioner looks good. You got a kettle.
Yeah, awesome. I'm gonna have a cup of coffee now.
Mine has a hair blower. Yours does too.
Actually, I'm starting to get hair. All right, brother.
I'm heading out for lunch. You can join if you feel like it, or you can get stuck in trying to get your bike fixed or whatever you need to do. I was going to go to, there's like a Pakistani buffet kind of thing. You just fill your plate with whatever you want.
Yeah, I'll go.
I go there quite often for lunch.
Yeah.
I'm in the mood for it today.
Yeah, I'm not in a big hurry to go fix that tire. I can, not in this heat right now. So I haven't eaten yet. So let me, you need to drop your stuff off, or you just heading right out the door?
I can just head right out the door. Yeah, I don't need to.
Okay, well, I'm going to use the restroom real quick. And yeah, I'll go with you.
All right, cool. I'll just be outside.
Okay. All right, we got 2 cameras, 2 YouTubers, and we're trying to eat a meal here. So he took me, Doug here. Let me see if I get this without zooming in. Nope, I still have not perfected that yet. There we go. So he took me to one of the spots that he comes to. I got the beef, potato dish, regular rice, and oh yeah, that's very good.
I ended up with 2 meat dishes. Like this is the beef, and then there's another one. The guy told me the name. It's a Pakistani meal, Kita, I think he called it.
Kita.
Yeah.
No, that's beef too, right?
Yeah, it's also beef, but
And I went with the vegetarian potatoes with bell peppers. Oh, that's stew. That tastes like stew. Anyway, guys, good food, good company. This hobo's happy.
So Daniel and I just had lunch at this Pakistani place, and I'm feeling pretty wiped out now after a lot of food, putting me to sleep. But I guess Daniel's got to deal with the tire.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired too, and the sun's kind of doing that
brutal,
heat thing.
yeah.
But I had to try and figure out how to get this off.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try and cinch this side down again. See if that helps, but anyway, yeah, it's fun.
I will leave you to it. You got in the bike this far. I'm sure you'll get it to the next stage.
Yeah, it's just another thing. I mean, it's a rolls down one hill, can hardly get up the next. So it's free, so I don't have to go searching for a new tool. It was my old dumb fault of doing it. So I'm still gonna blame it on Doug though. So there we go. Hey, this is 4 things wrong, 1 thing right. We're doing good. It's all uphill for now from here. So figured it out. That's it. Cool. I don't have to go looking for a new tool.